dramatic writing for us.
Is it?
You picked up the pen and paper. I thought you were doing it for all of us, for the good sales, the big sales for all of us.
That's that. No, she's being a very willing learner, because actually we do want you all to sit with your pen and paper, because there will be something that will come up that you will be able to apply immediately to your call. And Guruji, we want so much from your call. There's something you did brilliantly. Bhumika, there's something that you did brilliantly, and it was an absolutely wonderful call. Apart from that, Amrish has been doing quite a bit of work around analyzing how sales takes place. He's been looking at people who've been successful. He's been attending workshops, and there are quite a few things that he's put into practice that he is sharing with us today. What you're actually also going to be getting is the first time that we are putting this out, because it is going to be a program all by itself. And because you all are already on the Tele Summit, we thought that if we let you all know these little secrets and tips, well, we could look forward to even more sales. So yes to that, and over to Amrish.
Yes
to that.
Yes to that.
Yes, thank you, Nedu.
Yes.
Hey, thanks everyone. Thank you everyone for coming here. Really appreciate this on a relatively short notice, but very glad that all of us are here. Payal, we saw Payal sitting down with pen and paper, and we'd like everybody to take notes as much as possible, because what you learn, you tend to forget very quickly. So if you don't write it down, you may not have stuff to go back to. So it's best to sit down with pen and paper and take down your notes, whatever you can learn from this call today. Now, we as a team have put down some stuff based on the experiences that we've had in the last 3 calls. But before we get down to those experiences, I want all of us to tell us, I want people to tell us how many of us are good at sales, or how many of us enjoy sales.
Not me, Amrish.
I enjoy.
Excellent. Okay, there's one person. Who else said I enjoy it?
Bhumika.
Bhumika enjoys sales. So there is Vidya who doesn't enjoy it. Payal does not enjoy it. Siddhi, are you saying no? Not sure. It can be interesting. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. We sell all the time. All of you know that we sell all the time, right? Whether it's about monies, businesses, your work, your relationships, yourself, you've got to sell all the time. And if you keep saying that I'm not good at sales or I don't enjoy sales, you're always going to remain like that. You're never going to change. Because if you fight for your limitations, you're going to keep them. If you can't sell, you practically cannot survive. So maybe you don't enjoy sales today. Maybe you're not good at sales today, but you've got to change this attitude a little bit and reframe that statement saying, I'm getting better at least. So take active interest, try and learn, try and get better. So you start enjoying the process. I've never been a salesman before, but I've been doing that for Mystic Lotus. I've done that a little bit earlier, but not so much. And I've started enjoying it. And just by thinking, what more can I do? How can I learn? What can I achieve? Just by changing that mindset, you keep getting better and better. Practice obviously makes progress. I don't subscribe to the statement practice makes perfect, but practice does make progress. Practice does make things permanent for you. So if you keep practicing these things, you will keep getting better, and you will start enjoying not just the fruits of the effort that you put in, but also the actual process of doing this, because it gives you a high, it gives you a thrill of learning new stuff. And Guruji did tell us on the call that one of his secrets to youth is to keep learning. He is a student, and we all know that. We all know that he's a student for life. So keep learning, keep adding more skills, and you will keep getting better at what you do. The other thing that I want to ask you people is how many of you attended the calls so far? There's been just 3 calls. Did anyone attend any of the calls?
I attended Guruji's call,
Yes.
Amrish.
I attended Guruji's call and Nedu's call.
All right, excellent.
I'm yet to attend.
All right, cool.
I attended all 3 calls, Amrish.
Thank you, Neeru. What would we do without you? I'm so glad.
Sorry, please continue.
So here's the thing. There are, for example, Payal said that she's not very happy. She's not very good at sales. Vidya hasn't just responded. Siddhi's kind of not sure. So can be interesting. I'd like all of you to attend the calls. At least attend the sales pitch, so you know what's happening. How are these gems coming up? What can you learn from that? At least log in the last half an hour or last 20 minutes or so you know what are the packages. Because when you do that, you will see when you're doing your own call, you may not get all the insights because you're so involved. You may not be able to analyze and understand and get the result, see what you're doing well and what you're not doing so well. But when you're listening to other people's calls, you will. For example, Hitesh Guruji came up with a fantastic option on the call for a second level upgrade. Right? It was beautiful. Almost everybody who's taken his package has taken that. Bhumika did something really fantastic on her call as well, as far as the sales were concerned. So if you listen to those things, you will also get them. It's not rocket science, it's common science actually. It's common sense, but I'm calling it common science because it will keep getting better. If you treat it like a science, you will learn more and more out of this. So you'll get more out of this. There are a couple of things that we've learned over the last few days. One is that a lot of our calls are sounding like, and I'm talking to you as somebody who's not a healer, right? I'm looking at it as a customer. A lot of our calls are sounding as if they're healing calls. The demonstrations that we're doing are healing demonstrations. Bhumika did a Akashic record reading for a customer. Guruji did aura reading, which establishes that you're fantastic at your craft. That you know how to heal, you know how to do the readings and all that. How good are you at teaching? Because teaching is completely different from practicing. So what we want to see on the call is more stuff related to teaching. A lot of you have said that you've been teaching for many years. What we want you to demonstrate on the call is the case studies, is the success stories. Because I'm not here to take a session from you on healing. I'm here. The purpose, the objective of this tele summit of customers coming in and listening in to us is how do I learn this technique? And I want to learn from somebody who's a good teacher. You may be a great healer, but you may or may not be a good teacher. I want to know that you're a good teacher. Some of the people who are going to buy these packages, and I know Dr. Sanjeev's package is predominantly for practitioners, for counselors. So what you want is people coming in and saying, I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to be able to use it in my own work. I'm going to benefit out of this. My clients are going to benefit out of it. I'm going to save time, money, energy on my work. We all of us want to see you get better at demonstrating how good a teacher you are. It's not just about how good a healer you are. It's also about how good a teacher you are. Let's see some success stories. Almost everybody has students. And some of those students would have gone on to become practitioners. Some of them may have transformed their own lives or their relatives, family, friends, or whoever. We want to see those success stories. Either we want to hear from the customers, we want their testimonials, or we want them on the call, or we want you to share those success stories. Because nothing is more impactful. For example, if I would have learned, let's say I would have learned from Payal. And Payal would have known that I've learned from her about 2 years ago, and I've got my own practice, and I'm helping out, say, 100 customers a month, which is about 3 customers a day. I moved from 0 to 100 a month, or maybe I moved from 0 to 200 a month. That's a fantastic success story. I've invested 10, 11, 15,000 rupees in the training. I don't know how much the value is, but I'm guessing it's in that range, 10 to 20,000. I've invested 20,000 and I'm making a few lakh rupees every month. I'm helping not just myself and my family members, but I'm also helping others. So we want to see how impactful your trainings are. Please focus a little bit more on the training aspect of your calls. The healing aspect is fantastic. You can demonstrate that by taking people on. That's great. But we should see some case studies or examples of success stories coming in from the teaching that you're doing.
So I just want to say thank you so much for this particular insight, because I was planning in my head how to do the demo. I was thinking I'll do a counseling thing, asking questions, getting them to a core issue. But now after this conversation, I'm now actually restructuring it as to I'll do the demo and then I will teach it to them how layer by layer break down the demo of, okay, so this is the question that I asked and this
Yeah.
is what they said and these are the feelings that came out and this is the step 2, this is how we are going to, this is how we went to the next one. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do a live breakdown of the counseling that
Yeah.
happens during the call.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And that's how we've got to approach it. We've got to show how is this going to help them going forward. It's not just about the healing, right? It's about the teaching. And the other thing is, while you're doing this, while you're sharing all your success stories and while you're demonstrating this, help them visualize. Because there's nothing more powerful than visualization. Right? Give them stories of people that feel like stories. So when you would have read novels, you would have read books, you would have read various articles where people are being quoted. I mean, I could just say that Dr. Sanjeev was talking about how lovely his day was when he went out on a date. Instead of that, if I were to say Dr. Sanjeev and in quotes, what did he actually say? That makes it a lot more powerful. That makes it more personal, right? So when you're giving your case studies or sharing your stories, try and bring that character to life within the story, because that really helps me visualize and imagine who this person is, what this person looks like, what that person's behavior and characteristics are. Try and make that person alive rather than just giving a story that where we can't visualize. Okay? So work a little bit on your case studies and see how you can make it better. You can obviously put it on the document. We'll be very happy to look at it and share feedback.
And I'll also say here, Amrish, that the takeaway over here for us is that, you know how on our tele summits we have people who come on and speak about their progress and how their life has changed after they worked with us. Like that, we can also do a live demo of somebody who's learned from you and is applying this right now.
Yep.
So if there is somebody who can come up to say, I learned and this is how my life has changed and this is how I'm helping people and I invested X and I've already recovered that 10 times over, that would be amazing.
That's super powerful. Really, really powerful. Thank you, Nidhu. Sorry, please continue. Nidhu?
Back to you.
Okay. Thanks. So that is very powerful, Nidhu. Getting people on, nothing like it. If you can get them on, lovely. If you can't get them on, see if we can get their videos. We can share their videos on the call itself. If that doesn't work, testimonials are good. Even if you don't have the testimonials, then at least let's get those case studies. Let's share what we've heard, what the success stories that we've got and we've experienced, people have experienced. Because it's a training tele summit, we want those success stories, and people should be sitting on the edge of their seats and saying, I want to jump in. When is she going to tell me how much this is going to cost and how long will it take? That's the place I want to be. I don't want people, I mean, I do want people who are listening and saying, wow, this is interesting. Wow, this is interesting. But the benchmark for me, success benchmark for me, is people sitting on the edge of the seat and saying, when are Neelu and the speaker going to get to the pricing so I can jump in? When are they going to send me the payment link? That's where we want people to be, right? For that, while you're sharing your success stories, the other thing that you want to share is a lot of stuff that you're actually going to teach on the program, because all of you have got fantastic insights. You know, I don't know if you've noticed, you may have, that on every call in all the tele summits that we've been doing over the last couple of years, we've been sharing or making a video, which is like a slideshow of the insights that you've got. Has everyone noticed it? Like Payal,
I saw some on Instagram. I was blown. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it was amazing.
So thanks for that, Doc. But the amazing bit is that all of that comes from you. Shilpa and the rest of the team are just sitting down, taking notes, frantically putting all of it together, making the video and putting it out, right? But the insights are coming from you. Those insights of what you're going to teach on the call, because a lot of these insights are about the healing, about the technique. That this is what happens, this is how energy flows, this is what Akashic Records is, and so on and so forth, right? What we also need to share is what is going to be taught on the call, at least to some extent. Share 20%, share 30%, share 50% if you want to. but share stuff that gets people to sit up and take notice. The aha moments of your training, some of those can be shared on the call, because people who are sitting here want those aha moments as well. That's what will get them to jump into your training program. That's what will get them to sign up.
So my training program is a 5-part Zoom after the webinar. So I can give out the titles, titles, and kind of what will be covered in call 1, the brief headers and the outcome. At the end of call 1, what skill will you have? At the end of call 2, what skill will you have? Something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. I'm glad you brought that up, Doc, because I wanted to add something here. One of the things that I've been noticing in a lot of call documents is people are telling me, here's my MBA program. Okay, I'm going to take a example of an MBA program. A lot of people are telling me, I'm going to take up an MBA program. On that MBA program, you're going to learn international business. You're going to learn finance. You're going to learn organizational management. You're going to learn people skills. Very, very, very few of us sign up for an MBA program to learn all this. I'll be very honest with you. Most people sign up for an MBA program because they want a career, because they want money, because they want respect, they want recognition. This guy studied from an IIM and now he works with Unilever or Pepsi or whatever else. So the end result of what you will achieve by signing up for my program is more important than, are you going to teach me organization management or international business or marketing or people management or whatever else. What I want to see as a student is, what are my prospects after I finish the course, after I get my certification? Can I become a practitioner? Can I become a successful practitioner? Can I make lots of money? Or can I learn enough to heal myself, all my problems or various problems, to a certain extent, to a great extent, most of my problems? Can I fix those issues? That's why I'm coming to you. If an MBA school were to tell me, I'm going to teach you everything, but there are no job prospects, you're not going to get a job after this. I don't think many people are going to sign up.
Except for Fung Suk Wangdu from 3 Idiots. He goes only for knowledge, not outcomes. But we have very few Amir Khans who are like that, only for Vidya and knowledge.
Yeah.
But I go to college for different kinds of Vidyas, but
right.
Outcomes are so important. Yeah,
the outcomes are very important.
We need to highlight the outcomes.
We do need to highlight the outcomes. And while we've done that to some extent, we've got to focus on it. The other thing is that it's got to be specific. So I was reading up on a few case studies. Okay? There's this insurance company that went to a lot of international flyers, people who travel international. So they went to guys who were buying tickets and traveling international, and they said, here's a policy for $100,000. You pay, they didn't mention the amount, but let's say you pay 100 US dollars as a premium. Okay? What this policy does is it covers death risk due to any incident that happens while you're flying. So it could be a plane crash, it could be a bomb, it could be something else. You might die of, somebody may die of a heart attack, whatever the policy holder dies of. Basically, you will get $100,000 if you buy the policy worth $100, okay, by paying a premium of $100. Now, they had a success rate of 11%, okay, which is probably okay by their means. I am not sure whether they were happy with it or not, but they changed it. What they did was, they said, here's a policy that will give your family members $100,000 for a premium of $100. It will cover terrorism risk. So anything that happens due to terrorism, your family is going to get it. Guess how many people bought that policy in percentages? 67% as compared to 11%. That's what happens when you put certain specifics onto what you're going to do, what you're going to teach, and what are you going to deliver. We come in, and I made that mistake godzillion times. Okay, we come in and we say, "Hum to sab kuch karte hain. Ye bhi hoga, wo bhi hoga, wo bhi hoga. Everything will be done. Everything will be handled by my healing technique." But people are not dealing with everything. Everybody is dealing with something specific. Can we be more specific? Can we iron out number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 issues? All of you have been healers for many years. You've dealt with hundreds and thousands of clients. You know what issues people are dealing with. You know what's the majority top 5 issues that people are dealing with. Can you address those issues? Can you put down those issues and say, here are the top 5 issues that my clients, people who've learned from me, have been able to address with ease? And then there are others, but I don't want to get into the others, but these are the top 5 that they can do, whether it's related to monies or health or relationships or anything else. Let us be more specific, because when you're specific, what happens is it triggers something in the head of the listener. The trigger is that I'm starting to think, wow, this person had a relationship issue. I also have a relationship issue, which means that I will be able to fix it. Because if you're saying that it's generic, I'm going to heal everything, I don't know what to visualize. It's very vague for me as a listener. So try and get as specific as you can with the deliverables that you're going to give. Not only what you're going to teach, how you're going to teach it. So give examples and give insights and share those aha moments. Do the demonstration, but what is the outcome that's going to happen? What issues are you going to solve? What's the next level of this? You've learned from me, solve problems. You've learned from me, become a practitioner, make great money, go and be successful, or get tremendous satisfaction, peace of mind, whatever it is that you're looking for.
Amrish, are you teaching a course for healers? You should definitely do this. These tips are amazing because after the last webinar, based on some of the tips that Amrish gave and from Mystic Lotus, whatever I studied, I applied that to my future calls, changed a little bit, like, becoming more clear, doing demos, these kind of things. I used to not do much before. I actually saw my personal number of participants increasing. So feedback to Amrish, you should do one of the, train the trainer programs where you train the healers how to, basically every healer wants to change the world. And unless we are willing to be better salesmen, we can't change the world. How can we change the world if you're not willing to be better salesmen?
For sure.
And we are doing it, Doc. We are, this is a program, like I said, and right now, as an introduction, it's valued at just 25,000 because y'all are already part of the Tele Summit. There's no charge to it, but we're definitely doing it. Absolutely.
That's amazing. I think that's a great service you all are doing to healers and therapists. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do, Doc, because you've come in, I do want to address one more thing. Over the last few years that we've been doing Tele Summits, there's a thing that I've noticed, and there are very few healers who follow a great practice, but there are very few healers who invite their own customers to their calls. Okay. Now, as Mystic Lotus, as a provider of the overall ecosystem for getting on the call, there's Zoom. The link can be shared with anybody. All the people can come in. They don't have to register for the Tele Summit. They can just sign up and they can just get on the calls. We used to have instant Tele Seminar. People can use the link and get on instant Tele Seminar, whether they are registered on Mystic Lotus or not, or for the Tele Summit or not. But here's the thing. Bhumika had a package at the lowest price of 40,000 for both the levels. I'm just generally asking a question. Bhumika, you may or may not have to answer this. How many of your existing customers have paid you 40,000 in the last 1 month? Or how many 1 month?
Okay.
How many of your existing customers have paid you 40,000 in the last 1 month? Or how many of these customers have paid you 40,000 in the last 4 months in 2020? I don't know what that number is, but it's probably a small number. There are a couple of practitioners who keep inviting their own clients to the Tele Summit to their own call. What that does is these clients, because they already know you, they look at the packages and say, I know that this XYZ practitioner charges an X amount of rupees, let's say 1 lakh rupees, but she is offering me this package at 40,000 rupees. And they sign up and they get phenomenal sales. And the reason they get these phenomenal sales is because they're looking at a customer life cycle value. Right? They're saying that this customer so far paid me maybe 50,000, 60,000, 20,000, whatever. Can I get this customer to pay me a lot more? You want to extract, when I say extract, not necessarily grab money, take, steal, whatever. Basically, you want that same customer to keep coming back to you, learn more from you and pay you more. B is almost all of us are doing programs that are group programs, right? You're better off with 50 people on your program as compared to 10 or 20 people because the time investment is the same. You're going to create the same material. You're going to put out the same call links. You're going to do the same WhatsApp groups. Maybe there will be a 5% or a 10% increase in the time that you invest on those additional customers. But you want more people. And the way to get more people to sign up for your program is to get more people to listen to your call. Are you better equipped to tell people to listen to your call, or am I? I'm doing my job. I will keep doing my job. I will try and get as many people as I can on the call. How many people can you get on the call? How many people have you been dealing with, treating, helping over the last 5, 10, 20 years? How many of those people can get on your calls? You know, I send out, Midhu knows this, Neelu knows this, I send out WhatsApp messages individually, okay, to 800, 900 people. within a couple of hours because of practice now. I've just become so good at it. And I don't send broadcasts necessarily. I do send broadcasts in some cases, only when I have to broadcast to 20,000 people. But I send out individual messages to 800 people saying, here's the thing, come on, here's the thing, get on the call, here's the thing that you should do. And the reason to do that is because I want each one of them to come on. Every customer is a potential buyer. They may or may not buy today, but they will buy tomorrow from you. If they get on the call, they are likely to buy from you. Get your customers on the call. Dr. Sanjeev, one of your success factors, one big factor of your success is that I've seen you do that because I'm on your groups. Okay, whatever the program is, and whoever is doing this program, I want to give it to you, Doc. Whether it's your program or somebody else's program, you're constantly promoting it and you're telling your customers, here's a great program, sign up for it. Whether that's the Mystic Lotus Tele Summit, whether that's somebody else doing an access program, or whether there's somebody doing a past life regression, or anything else that people are doing. You're constantly telling people, sign up for this, especially where you're associated with it. And that's one of the reasons, like you said, that's one of the reasons you're getting more people. You're getting more customers to sign up with you because you're constantly sending out the message to the universe saying, I want more customers, I want more customers, I want people. It's all about energy, right? You're all energy workers. You constantly want to send out messages to people saying, I'm on this Tele Summit. I haven't offered this ever before. I'm giving you an opportunity. You send out a message to 500 people, maybe 50 people will come, maybe 100 people will come, maybe 20 will buy. You've got more value for money from those 20 people because your time investment is the same. Promote your programs. We've seen a few people do it. We've seen Payal do it. We've seen Dr. Sanjeev do it. We've seen a few people here and there do it. I'm not going to mention everybody's name, but we've seen some people do it. But you have a large database. See what's the best way of communicating to them and get them on the call because you want to send out the right message and the energy to the universe that you want more customers.
And I will say over here that internationally, in the international training for Tele Summits, a host must take that speaker who has a minimum of 3,000 opt-ins. On the International Tele Summit from Heartache to Joy, it's part of our contract that for every time you come on, you have to bring 400 people. And Darius Barazender, who is the trainer for Tele Summits, for him, when he teaches, he's very clear that only a speaker who can bring in people is the speaker that you must invest in. Because that speaker is committed. If you all notice, when you all bring in people, most of the time it's they who pick up the package and they influence the new ones. It's not the other way around. Oh, I already have these 20 people. Let me see what Mystic Lotus can do to bring me new people. You know, I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's a collaborative, co-creative process. When you bring in your people, they make a difference to the other people buying for you. Because this is India and we do function a little differently and our buyers function a little differently, we have not been hard and fast on this rule of 3,000. We're not even hard and fast on the rule for 25. But at the same time, the moment we see this lack of commitment, we know that you've not understood a very important aspect of sales. And therefore, that will show somewhere in your results as well. I'll bring up another point here. It's also very important, apart from getting comfortable with numbers and enjoying numbers, is that you must know what is it that you really want from the Tele Summit. Do you want a number of people or do you want a certain kind of people? In a training course, it's not the same as a personal session course. In a personal session, you would be geared towards numbers of people, maybe in your training session as well. But speaking personally, I was looking at a certain kind of person. There are many freeloaders who show up, especially when we make it price friendly. And we've noticed that the best pricing on the Tele Summit is 5,000 and lesser. But most trainings are way more than that. And Amrish and I went back and forth on this for quite some time. And he came up with an option that I'm sure he'll share with you, where I was very clear that I want a kind of person. I am not interested in the numbers for the training tele summit. Therefore, my pricing, which is my one biggest filter, will test other people's commitment. So you see what is it that you're looking for, apart from the joy and pride and honor of being on a platform. We have 1,000 registered people. We send out the emails to at least 10,000 people, 20,000 people. You know what that is in terms of numbers for all of us? I mean, I know how hard I have to work to get 20 people to sign up. So a platform that gives you access to this kind of numbers means you've also got to contribute to this. Be sure about what is it that you want to do with these 1,000 people. These 1,000 people are key because they've opted in. Therefore, they are already half bought into all of our packages. That remaining half will get influenced by the number of people you bring in, will get influenced by what kind of people you want out of these, and if you want all of them. We can all put in programs that are 500 rupees, right? We can do a one-day program for 500 rupees. Get tons of people in. Is that what you want? If so, and Amrish, I'm so sorry, I know you're going to bring this up, I'm just putting this out there, have a smaller training module. My training module is 24 hours of very dedicated, hard work. That 500 person is I know, not only going to falter, is also going to expect that much more hand-holding. So think about what is it that you want to do with these people. You want the numbers? Make your package accordingly. You want the kind of people? Make your package accordingly. And definitely invite your batch. Invite everybody you can think of. Do you all have a mailing list? Does everybody have a mailing list? Nobody is doing this work for just the last few months or a year. Do you all have a mailing list? Do you all
Yes,
keep
we
in
do.
touch? You do. To send it out to that mailing list to say, join me, means you get more opt-ins from those who've already worked with you. My maximum sales come from those who've already worked with me. As will yours. So bring them on. Let's do this collaboratively. Involve them in this platform as well. And back to you, Amrish.
Thank you, Nidhi. I do want to move to the packages and thinking of what you really want from the package. Like Nidhu said, that she's looking at a certain quality of people. There is a certain filter that she has in mind. And that's one of the most important things to consider, to think about, to decide before your packages are made. You put down certain packages on your documents, and quite often during the conversation with Neelu or with me or both of us, these things come up. What should I do with my package? What pricing should I offer? What should I make attractive? And that depends on what you want to do. What is it that you want to offer? What is your purpose and objective of this Tele Summit, of the program, of your call? Do you want lots of people coming in? Like, for example, Brenda and Charu have got 5 levels of their BNC Miracle Method workshops. Okay? They're offering one on the Tele Summit, but they've got 5. Now, if I had 5 levels and I had a price of, I'm just taking an approximate value. Let's say I had 30,000 rupees as the value for each level, which is 1,50,000 for 5. I would have looked at it and said, there's an opportunity to get people to sign up and pay 1,50,000 over 5 levels. I want a lot of people to come in on the first level. So I would make my first level program really, really attractive. Based on the experience that I know that people come in for level 1 and then they definitely go on to, or a lot of them, a good percentage of them go to level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay? So you know that math, you know that number, see what you want. Or if your understanding is, if your experience or knowledge is that People sign up for level 1 and then they're content with whatever they've got. They don't want to go to the next level. Then that's a different strategy. That's a different approach to your pricing. Okay. What do you wish to achieve, and what have your results been in the past? I think Vidya Kaval has 4 levels that she can teach. Again, similar stuff for you, Vidya. You want to think about, do you want people to sign up for all 4 levels steadily? On the Tele Summit, they may come in for 1 or 2 levels, but do you want ultimately these people to sign up for more levels? You can devise your program like that. Now, when you're making your programs, see that the one that you want people to take, and most of you have multiple options, see that the program that you want to make is the most attractive one. How do you make it attractive? So there was this study, this test that was done with the Economist magazine, The Economist. What these guys did was they were offering 2 packages. One was their online subscription of the magazine, the online magazine of The Economist, which was at some $9 or $56 or something like that. And then there was another option, which was the print and online, that was about $100. Okay? So a lot of people used to go for the online only version and not buy the print and online. What these guys did was they added one more option. So they had the online option for $56. They had the print plus online option for $100. And then they added the third option, which was the print only option for $100. Now, any customer who's looking at $100 for print and online and $100 for only print is obviously going to go for print and online. But what that did was it also switched a lot of customers who were picking the only online option and suddenly moved to the print plus online. So they started making more money out of the customers who were just taking the online version. That's what you want to do. You want to create a decoy. You want to create a dummy program. If you are selling only one program, the chances of people buying that program is less as compared to selling 2 programs, irrespective of how good, bad, ugly that second program is. Okay? Have 2 options at least. I know most of us have 4 or 5 options, but at least have 2 options for customers to buy, because that gives them an opportunity to compare. When you go to a market to buy something, you want to compare. You want to see, you don't go to usually a lot of people don't just go to the first shop and buy whatever they find. You don't just go and pick up the first shirt or the first top or the first shoe or the bag that you want to buy. You typically want to take a look around and then come back and maybe buy the first one that you like. But you still want to browse, right? So that's what customers want to do. They want to see multiple options. Give them 2 or 3 options, but focus on the one that is matching up with your objective of being on the Tele Summit. Your objective is to get a lot of customers in because I have 4 or 5 levels, or your objective is, like Nidhu said, filter out a lot of customers and get only a certain quality. So see what your objective is and then frame your program accordingly. Bhumika did something really, really good. Hitesh Guruji did something very good on his call as well. So Hitesh Guruji, for those who don't know about his program, he had a program for 7,700 and 7,700 rupees. I'm going to round it off. Okay? He was teaching level 1 at 7,700. He offered level 2 as an upgrade for an additional 1,000 rupees. Okay? Almost everybody who's bought his level 1 has bought level 2 because it's a no-brainer. I paid 7,000 rupees for level 1. I'll pay another 1,000 rupees and get the second level also. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's a great upsell. See if you have an upsell. If there is something that you can offer additionally to your program that does not require tremendous amount of effort. By the way, getting people to sign up again and doing sales again is also a lot of effort. This program will help you. This Tele Summit will help you to upgrade straight away. You don't have to make that effort. There is another study which says that there's a buyer's behavior. When somebody is buying something, that's the best time to upsell or cross-sell because they're already in the buying mode. You want to give them something extra. So when they're buying something, give them something extra at a lower price and the price barrier completely goes away. But if Hitesh Guruji would have just offered one program of 7,700 and the 1,000 rupee program and sold it as a bundle, I don't think he would have got as many people. Just because he gave the other option is what got people to sign up for the second one. So Hitesh Guruji did something really nice. Bhumika did something fantastic on her call. And I'll tell you what Bhumika's program was. Bhumika was offering level 1 and level 2 Akashic record reading for 1,25,000 was the regular price. She was offering it at 40,000 for the first 10 buyers, okay? Which is a great attractive price. Now what Bhumika did was, she said, if you sign up for this 40,000, I'm going to teach you 25,000 worth of land, Akashic land record reading training for free. So if you pay 40,000, you get 25,000 in return anyway as a free training. Okay? Not only that, she was also offering 30,000 worth of reading and healing sessions personally. Bhumika would be doing it. So if I pay 40,000, I would get 25,000 in return, which means my balance is 15. And I would also get 30,000 worth of sessions from Bhumika, which means that Bhumika is actually paying me money. She's actually paying me 15,000 rupees to learn from her, because she's giving me benefits worth 55,000 rupees. That's more than the value of the program. It's fantastic. It's just outstanding. It's such an attractive offer. So see if you have something that you can offer for maybe free, but it is at a high value. You don't have to, but see if there are other freebies, because customers, people go to the same shop for the loyalty program because they're going to get something in return for free. They're only getting loyalty points. I use a credit card that gives me the greatest points. I don't care what interest rate they charge. I don't care what credit terms they're giving me and what due date. But they give me a lot of credit. They give me a lot of points for using the credit card. So I'm going to my chai wala and saying credit card loge kya? Because I'm going to get points. So see if there's stuff that you can give, because it's the additional stuff that you won't get is what gets people to act. Okay? There's this specific study that says it's not the saving that you're not going to get or the money that you're not going to make is what drives people. It's what you're going to lose is what drives people into buying. So for example, if I were to sell you something and tell you that you're going to make 100 rupees from this as a revenue, versus I were to tell you, if you don't take this, I'm not going to give you 100 points. The trigger of losing out on those 100 points is a massive trigger for people to buy. We all know FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Similarly, fear of losing out. Just losing out on loyalty points or losing out on those additional benefits is a significant trigger for people to take that action. So if you've got something that you can offer for free, whether they are recorded meditations, whether there's PDF, whether there are videos, whether there's any lifetime support, whether there's hand holding in your training, whether there's helping with them to establish their own practice, or it's helping them with their own issues. The first issue, you tell them, on whatever is your first issue, I will help you for free. By all means, go ahead and do that. Give them value for the program. That's how you define your program. Put value, put numbers for everything. Don't say I'm going to give you 5 meditations and I don't know what it's worth. Put a number to it, because that helps me as a customer define what is the exact benefit that I'm getting. I want to go for it then. But if you tell me 5 meditations for free, I'm thinking, वैसे भी free होगा. How does it matter? But if you tell me 5 meditations worth 5,000 or 3,000 or whatever that 10,000, whatever that number is, I have something in mind that's a benefit that I'm going to get. All right. A couple of other things. One is, we all think that the buying happens at the time of closing the sale. Okay? When I've told you what my offer is and people are deciding. But that's not the case, actually. Buying happens throughout your call. It just happens right from the beginning until the end of your call. So what I mean by that is, firstly, buying is not a spectator sport, right? You're not sitting back in your chair and suddenly Payal said, this is the offer, I'm going to buy it. It doesn't happen that way. You're actively involved in the process. You want to hear what is happening, right? So it's not a spectator sport. It's an active playing sport. What you want to do is you want the customer to be actively listening to you, to be paying attention to you at the time of sharing the offers. Similarly, selling is not a spectator sport, by the way. Okay? If buying is not a spectator, selling is definitely not a spectator sport. I want to hear enthusiasm. How many of us are enthusiastic about our programs when we are selling? And how many of us are thinking, shit, I have to remember the numbers. Why doesn't Neelu do it for me? Neelu, can you do it for me, please?
Yes, I can, but it's better coming from you. And you're right, and a lot of people hesitate to do this. And if I may also add, over the last few years, I've seen a lot of people overcome that and say it themselves now. And 2 people are on this call right now, so I'm going to take their names just in congratulations. It's Bhumika and Nidhu. They would never, the rattling off of their own package with the numbers, with what's being offered from the first year till now. I've seen such a phenomenal, huge jump, and I think it shows in their numbers.
Yeah, for sure, Neelu.
Thank you. Thank you. And I was going to say a big resounding yes to being very comfortable with your numbers. I love that part now. It takes not as much effort, because I've realized two things about being able to speak about your numbers. One, like Amrish said, the sales is not happening at the last part. Your sales is actually happening at the beginning. And I've noticed, and I remember on another tele summit, the speaker actually brought it up. And she said, you've been talking about your package from early on, because I know my package. The moment I get an opportunity and I say, oh, and we'll do more of this on the package, or this is also being taken care of on the package. Don't worry if you're missing out on this. The package has it all. Like, because of that familiarity with my package, it becomes part of my conversation. Like, more on the package. It's a good question. You'll get all the answers in the package. And in fact, you don't even have to take package number 3. You can just get this in package number 1, and we're coming to that shortly. Yeah. So this comfort with sales part of it is actually the comfort with your subject. And this also, I think, for those of us who are not fully comfortable with the subject, somewhere there is some hesitancy about the power of the subject. Either we've not fully bought into it, or we think it's also a little woo-woo, so people won't buy into it. But some lack of confidence with the subject exists. Some lack of confidence, some judgment around that. But that's for another call. Handing it back to Amrish now.
Thank you. Thank you, Needu. So here are a couple of things that you...
Amrish?
Yes, Needu.
Yes. No, please, no, I didn't mean to interrupt. What I wanted to say very quickly was, listening to you and such phenomenal tips. Thank you. Listening to you, I had a certain thought. So once you're done, if I may have a few minutes.
For sure.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I have a question. Can I ask now or later?
Yeah, sure.
So my question is, what about? So my team was concerned about this. So I thought I will just ask you and receive what you have to say about this. So they were saying, Sanjeev, if everywhere we are starting to, if we are starting to give out these discounts, these offers, what about the brand image? In the sense that if would people be waiting for a further discount offer rather than just signing up at a flat rate? So in terms of a long-term image for a brand, how well do discounts do for the building of a brand?
So discounting all the time is not a great idea. Yeah. Discounting over certain specific events is definitely something that you want to look at. Again, I'm going to go back to what Nidhu said earlier. What is the objective that you have in mind as far as the Tele Summit call is concerned? Are you looking for a lot of new customers who will come in, and that your own experience will tell you? So for example, let me take an example. You had a breakups to breakthrough program on the last Tele Summit, right? There were about an X number, I'm not going to mention the number, there were an X number of people who signed up, and quite a few of them were new, were not known to you, right? A lot of those people are on the WhatsApp group even now. You will know how many of those people have come in and signed up for other programs.
Yeah.
You will have at least a guesstimate, if not an exact number, right?
Yeah, good number. So, like later when I announced my own personal program, many of these people came for that.
Exactly. So your objective in this case could have been that I want to get a fresh batch of people, a lot of people who are going to come in, and I know that I'm going to give them other options and they will keep taking. So out of, let's say, I'm just taking a number for example, let's say 100 people came up from the breakups to breakthrough, out of which, let's say 40 people have signed up for some other program, or 30 people or 20 people. But out of the other people who haven't signed up yet, they are also likely to sign up. Maybe not 100% of that, but a certain percentage of that, because you may have offered something that it may not be suitable for me at this point in time because I'm busy or I'm doing other things. or there's money, or the program itself is not attractive to me. I want to do something else. For example, you have a gentleman's club, right? I may or may not be interested in the gentleman's club, but I might be interested in a Women Are From Mars club, or Women Are From Venus club, sorry, right? So I could be interested in something else. So what you need to keep in mind is the objective. If your objective is to get a very, very, very high quality of customers, and you're imparting great quality value to them and delivering great value to them, you don't need to discount it much.
Okay.
Right? But if you're looking at saying, okay, I want to have a funnel, which is like this, a very broad-based funnel. I want lots of people to come in, and then when they come in and they will trickle down to various other things, then by all means use this tactic. So it's a tactical tool. It's not something that you want to do all the time, but it depends on your objective. Where are you in your on your career curve as well, right? On your clients.
Thank you for that. So I got it. I got my answer. Like in my career graph right now, I am looking at the number game. I am looking at reaching out to thousands of people for at least in the next 5 years. Want to reach out to at least more than thousands of people. So in that if that is the objective, then no. My only question is, if I lower the cost, does it give out an image that maybe the value of my course is also less? Does high price equal high value in the minds of the customer?
Not necessarily. So I don't personally, I don't look at it that way. And I'm saying that because I attend various courses online with various people. I look at their pricing, and sometimes these people tell me, Nidhu does that as well once in a while. So I see sometimes these people say my course is worth $900. Okay. I'm out with my credit card. Okay. I'm actually sitting with my credit card that the guy tells me that my course is worth $900. And I'm saying, if he's giving it to me for $900 or $899, I'm going to swipe my card. Okay. And the guy gives it to me for $199, and I'm still swiping my card. Because what he's done is he's demonstrated how good his program is. And that quality, and which is what I was saying earlier as well, share part of what you're going to do. The aha moments. The trailer of a film, the 3-minute trailer of a 3-hour film sometimes has the best shots of the film.
Yeah.
But you don't want to have all the best shots of the film in those 3 minutes, and then the rest of the film is rubbish. You don't want that either. But you do want to pick out certain portions of your film and give them a trailer, a nice demonstration of what is going to happen. Get those aha moments, get those wow moments from your customers. And the price, then tell them it's $900 and sell it to them for $199. That's absolutely fine. I will not doubt it as long as I get value from your program. Because I'm going to go and tell 10 other people saying, I did this program. It was outstanding. I would have paid $500 as well. Okay. I may not tell others that I would have paid $900, but I'll tell them I would have paid $500 if you would have charged me $500. Right?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So actually, that happened for one of my courses. I did a course of 5,000 rupees course, 1 week, 7 days, every day, 2 hours training I did, and I charged them only 5,000. One participant told me, I got so much value. Here's an extra 5,000. After the course, he gave me extra. He paid me extra 5,000. I was like, what is this? Why is all this? He said, no, you gave double value. So I feel like paying double. So receive it. I said, thank you so much. It makes me feel good. Yeah. So that, I get you.
That's the way to go, Doc.
One query. I was just thinking, maybe it's not a query. It is just, I was thinking, when we are on the call, can we start talking about our package from a beginning itself, so that once they should know the price and then they should know the value of our course? Will that?
Bhumika, here's what I do. Okay. I believe that you should talk about your package in a different way. What you want to do, and I was going to come to that, is something called small commitments. You want people to keep saying yes, whether they buy or not. Okay. The best programs that I have attended. I attended this one program at Sara Star Hotel in Bombay. There were 300 of us who were attending this program. The price of the program was 30,000 rupees. 290 people bought that program out of 300. Can you believe that? 30,000 rupees, 290.
Oh, wow.
And it was a 2.5-3 hour presentation. This was almost a year back. And I paid 30,000 rupees for it as well. But I'll tell you what this guy did. And I was noticing it because I've seen that practice. I've heard that practice. Nidhu's done it. So in 2000, and I want to go back to 2015, the first presentation that Mystic Lotus did on the 20th of June 2016. Sorry, 15. Okay. There were 54 healers who turned up. And we had not launched them. Mystic Lotus had not launched them. We were just a concept. And Nidhu was presenting about Mystic Lotus as a concept. what is Mystic Lotus? We are coming up with it. It's going to be launched in 2 months. This is what you will get. This is what you can get. This is the price and all of that and stuff like that. Okay, she shared some screenshots and concepts and all that. Our website was not made. Our app was also not made by them. Out of 54 people, 53 people paid. Okay, and they signed up with Mystic Lotus even before they launched, and they paid a good amount. And mind you, these people were called for a free call. They were invited for a free call. They weren't even asked to get their checkbooks or cash. Sorry about that. But these guys paid, okay, and a lot of them paid a token amount. Said, "मेरे पास सिर्फ 500 रुपए हैं, but I'm gonna deposit the money in your account tomorrow." 53 out of 54 people paid. And one of the things that Nidhu did, and I noticed it that day, was she took mini commitments from people. I'll give you an example of mini commitments, and all of you can keep saying yes. And this is what you should do to your clients. Do you want more clients?
Yes.
Do you want more money?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want more customers?
Yes.
Yes.
You want more,
Yes, yes, yes.
you want more fun?
Yes.
Yes.
More celebrations?
Yes.
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 More work?
More. Yes.
More abundance?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to get rid of all your problems?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to
Yes.
let go of your limitations?
Yes.
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 Yes to all of that. Keep getting these commitments from people throughout the call. Keep asking people and ask them to type on the WhatsApp group. People have to keep typing on the WhatsApp group saying yes, and tell them, do you want to let go of your problems? Type on the WhatsApp group. Say yes on the WhatsApp group. Let people say yes. What's happening is you're tuning their brain, you're tuning their mind to say yes. They will automatically say yes. If I would have asked you 5 more questions and said something negative, you would have said yes to that also without thinking. But that's what is going to happen. Your mind is going to keep saying yes. Get these mini commitments from people. So ask questions like, if money were not a barrier, let's say I told you my program, okay, even before I've told you my price, if I were to tell you, if money were not a barrier and I could get rid of all your health issues that you've been dealing with for the last 5 years or last 10 years, and you have unlimited amount of money, visualize for a second you have the money. Would you do it or you wouldn't? You're going to say yes, right?
Yes.
You said yes. But you are going to say yes. If I were to tell you that I'm going to get you 1 million customers in the next 1 year, and you have the resources and the money to pay me for it, are you going to say yes? You are,
Of course.
right? So what you want is you want people to start saying yes. Nidhu did that on her call on the presentation in 2015. This guy did it at Sahara Star. I came back home, I called Nidhu. Or maybe I called her right after getting out of there, and I said, Nidhu, this guy's copied you. This was last year. Okay. So what you want, Bhumika, is to answer your question. It's a good question. What you want is you want people to make those mini commitments without necessarily getting into the amount. Tell them this is going to get covered. Yes, I'm going to address this issue. Yes, this is also going to get covered in my program. Yes, I'm going to help you through this. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I will help you solve your problems. Yes, I will help you with your career, etc., etc. But you also want them to keep saying yes throughout the call.
Yeah.
Then questions get people to wake up. When I ask you a question, if you're not paying attention to my call, we've been going on for an hour almost, right? If you're not paying attention, if you're distracted, and I were to ask you a question, a simple question, have you had lunch? Your attention's going to come back. That's how your mind functions. If I ask you a question saying, I'm going to do this program for you thrice a week without any charge, are you going to do it? Your attention, wherever it is, whether you're having lunch, you're having tea, you're chatting with somebody on the phone, you're going to listen to my question because your mind is tuned that way. So what you want is, before you tell people what the price of your call is, buying is not a spectator sport. You want all those spectators to become active participants. You want to ask them a question that the answer is going to be yes for. Ask them a question where they answer with a yes, just before you tell people what your packages are. Ask them questions like, if resources were unlimited, if your problems were to get solved, what you've been dealing with for the last 5, 10, 20 years. Tell them to visualize what their lives look like without these problems that they're dealing with. Tell them what would it feel like if somebody were to handhold you, were to give you support, were to give you top class training, to be in a special league of these guys, superstars, superheroes, that you're going to make them from your training. Get them to start visualizing, get them to say yes to you right before you share the price of your programs. It's not a spectator sport. You have to get them to become active. You have to get them to be emotionally charged. If there's no emotion, there's no energy flowing. Energy has to flow, right? So let's get these guys to wake up to your call, to the offers of your call, and pay attention and say yes. But keep asking them questions throughout. In your demonstrations, after your demonstrations, before your demonstrations, while talking to Neelu, when you're saying, right at the beginning. And see, there's another thing. You want to build a connect with your listeners, right? What you want to do right at the beginning is ask people, how are you doing? Half the people are going to respond, I'm fine. 20% of the people are going to say, I'm feeling okay, not so good, could have been better, more stressed out. The balance 30% are not going to respond at all. But 50% of the people are going to say, I'm good, or I'm fine, or I'm great. Okay? What happens is, when you say that, you automatically get in the good mood. Are you cribby and cranky and irritated when you're out shopping? Or do you want to be in a great mood when you're shopping? You obviously want to be in a good mood, and you will end up shopping more. You want people to be in a good mood, right? So ask them a question, build a connect, listen to their answers. Just asking is not enough, obviously. Listen to their answers as well, but don't pay attention to the WhatsApp group. Neelu will help you with the answers. So pay attention to the answers as well. Build that connect right from the call. Start with your mornings or greetings and ask people how they're doing, and wait for their response for a few seconds. Just asking the question and then moving on is being insensitive. So build and connect, start getting people, ask them, are you excited? Do you want to know more? Do you want to learn more? Do you want to know how this functions? Okay? Ask those questions. Start with a story. Everybody loves a story. Case studies are beautiful. We did hear some case studies on the call so far, although we've heard most case studies were about healing. If you have case studies about people who've learned from you and success stories, then please share those. But share case studies, and do it right at the beginning of the call, because this is disturbance. Or are you guys able to hear me?
It's okay.
Is that
Yeah, we can hear. We can hear.
It's okay.
So share case studies right at the beginning. Get people excited. Everybody loves a story. I want to hear a story all the time, right? So start with a story that gets people to think, oh wow, Dr. Sanjeev, Payal, Nidhu, Siddhi, everybody's going to tell me a story. I want to be on the call. Maybe there's another story coming in. Concepts and all that are important. I'm not saying they're not important, but the story is more important and interesting for me as a listener. So start with the story, start with the greetings, keep doing the yes thing throughout the call. Plug in the yeses, get people active, ask them questions before your actual package. Define your package based on what you want people to do. What is your objective? Define your packages like that. Give them options. Keep it simple. Don't have 7 options. It's way too much. Because we are dealing with INR and USD pricing, it's anyway a little complicated. Have about 3 options, max 4. Don't put too many options out, at least not on the call. Maybe your call replay email can have more. Maybe on the chat you can tell people, okay, I've got more options if you want to sign up, but not on the call. Don't put out too many options. It's just way too confusing for me as a listener.
I just want to say this about the story. Like, Doc, what you mentioned about this person paying you extra. Neelu, I want you to make note of that, and somewhere in the conversation, either bring it up, or you can also close with saying, people, you'll want to pay him double. Just like
That's been a consistent trend that happened. It's like I wanted to teach foundation course, but I was only certified to teach bars class of Access. The participants who did bars class with me, they spooled in money, paid me in advance, and they said, no, you go to Australia, learn the course, and come. I was like so touched. I was like, because I didn't have the money. I was a student. I was in for final year MBBS. I said, I don't have salary. They said, no, we want to learn only from you. Here's the money. Payment in advance. Go to Australia, learn and come. Teach us level 2. Then they learned level 2 from me. It took me 6 months to do it, but they waited for 6 months, learned level 2 from me. I was so touched. This has been happening with me.
this is such a great story. It's exactly what Amrish is saying. Now, this is the kind of thing I want to hear about you. So, Neelu, just make a note of this. I don't know if you can find a way to put it in the introduction or very early on in the conversation, but to say, That's the kind of person he is, like establishing him as a phenomenal teacher, not a phenomenal practitioner.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
And
No, I was agreeing. I was saying right. I in fact already made note.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
I wanna
teacher,
yeah.
it used to happen. It just came to my mind. It used to happen that my law college students, I'm a medical student, I would be done with my studying for my exams done. And evening in the college, after working in a hospital, I come back in the canteen. The dental college students and law college students would be there. They would be like, "We heard you're very good at teaching. Can you read the law college textbooks and teach us? Day after tomorrow is our exam." So even though I'm an MBBS, I would read law college textbook, and overnight I did lecture. Overnight I took 4 hours lecture for them. I would study their whole textbook in one day, and I would make notes for them, and I would teach them for their exams. 5 of them, they took my that overnight coaching class. All of them passed their law college exams.
That's wonderful.
Fantastic. Neelu, there's another story.
Wow.
So the guy that people turn to learn.
Yeah. Sure.
So, great. Awesome. This is wonderful. Amrish, back to you.
We've got.
So, will we be having the Zoom like faces appear on the call like this, or we have to shut it?
It's up to you.
I want to show my beautiful face.
Yeah, please do. In fact, I was going to come to that. See, it's about confidence, right? You've got to be confident and comfortable. If you're very confident of being on camera and with your voice, both, then by all means, take Guruji's lecture.
Okay, another question. I have some pictures that I can show. So if I click the share button, those pictures will appear. So that is also allowed, right? I can share some photos and all of the, like, rather than just saying this is counseling, this is a thing. If the photo of the counseling therapist, this thing appears on the screen, it will be better, right? Can I do that?
Have you read my notes or you're reading my mind?
I'm a mind reader also.
You're clearly reading my mind because, yeah, visuals are very, very, very good. It's very boring to just listen to words because ultimately words get converted into visuals in our head, right?
Then for auditory people, I have made a SoundCloud. I have about therapy. I have made a SoundCloud. I've already sent it to Amrish. SoundCloud so that auditory people can hear the SoundCloud thing.
Yeah,
I've already sent it to you.
yeah. By all means, let's use it. Everything that can convert words into visuals or emotions is more than welcome. Because words ultimately become visuals in our heads anyway. There is no such definition of a word in our head, right? We've got to make a meaning out of it and convert it into a visual. So by all means, your videos welcome, your pictures are more than welcome, your SoundCloud audio files are also very good. So whoever is comfortable getting on, you've got to be comfortable. You've got to be confident. You have to sound authoritative and confident when you're on the call. If voice is your scene, then go with voice. If you want video, go with video. Your presentation, you've got to be comfortable and try and convert sound into visuals, visualization, imagination for the customer.
Just wanted to add in the for the rest of this week is yet to come on. I come on with video in the beginning and then I go into DP because I cannot use my laptop. I have the phone and the phone's lying down on the table so that my hands are free to take notes. So I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see what my chin looks like. So yeah.
One last thing that I can think of or I want to put down is the presentation. I was going to come to the presentation, which is Doc, you've addressed a couple of things, which is the should we have our video on, should we have slides, audio files and all that. All that's great. One of the things that we want to address is the buyer's behavior or the thought process. Okay? The buyer is typically thinking of why should I buy? When should I buy? How much should I pay for it? Whom should I buy it from? And what should I buy? Right? So in your presentation, in your call, in your conversation, you've got to address these why questions. What is the need and why should a person buy this? For example, you want to tell somebody you've been dealing with a backache, you've been dealing with insomnia, you've been dealing with depression or high blood pressure or relationship issue with your spouse or whoever else. You've been struggling with money for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. For how long are you going to live this limitation? If you're not going to buy now, if you're not going to take care of it now, when are you going to do it? In the next lifetime? You've been dealing with it probably for a few lifetimes. So they obviously there is a reason for them to be on the call and then to buy. You also want to address what should they buy, why should they take your program, what is your program going to do for them, and that has to be very, very clear. It's not what the MBA school is teaching, it's what the outcome of the teaching is going to be. Okay? Why should they do it from you? Doc is you've shared some of the things of why people should come to you. There are others also, and I know that everybody here has had clients. I know that Siddhi's been on the Tele Summit recently. Siddhi's had clients who've gone back to her. Sushant has clients who've gone back to her. Brenda and Charu have had clients who've taken one session and then upgraded. Vidya has had clients like that. Nidhu has clients like that. Payal has had clients who've gone for one session and then taken on more. Mika has had clients that have gone on for more. Everybody here has had clients who've gone for more. So clearly, your work speaks for itself. All you need to do is demonstrate why should they come to you. What is it that's going to do for them? Why should they come to you? Why should they pay you the money? Bhumika did a great example of why they should pay her the 40,000 rupees. You could have other reasons. I mean, somebody dealing with a health issue and going to a doctor and visiting the doctor for 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever that number of years is, dealing with other financial, relationship, health issues for years and years together, an investment of 15, 20, 30,000 is not a lot of money to solve a problem. It's not such a big deal. And if you're not able to address that question, the benefit versus the cost analysis, if you're not able to address that, you need to look at your pricing. That if I'm paying 20,000 rupees to you, am I getting 50,000 ka value, right? Or even more. But I should be getting at least what I've invested. So that question is for you to address. And when you sit down and address that question in your own head, you will be able to demonstrate and answer and share that information with the customers. Or why should they pay you 20,000 rupees? Why is this the best time to pay you 20,000 rupees? Because you've got a, like they say on television, television sales, they say, abhi nahi to kabhi nahi offer. Now or never. Or a now or never offer, right? Get it now, otherwise you're not going to get it ever.
Okay, one question. So when I'm talking, I should address the person who's taking, who's asking me the question. That is, I should address only Neelu, or should I talk directly, address the audience?
Give me an example.
Like, for example, on the previous Mystic Lotus, it was very clear because on the phone, I could talk only to Ruchira. I could talk only to the person asking me the questions. I wouldn't be able to talk to the other people.
Yeah.
So it is just a suppose me and Neelu is the one who's taking the interview this time, right? Suppose me and Neelu are talking, audience are listening. Should that be the ideal mode of conversation, or should I also focus on the audience and ask questions to the audience and, or shift back and forth? Do you get my question?
So you're talking to everybody. You're addressing everybody. Neelu's representing everyone. Neelu's not an individual. Neelu is hundreds of people who are on the call.
Okay, so she will do the work of reading all the questions and ask me questions from the WhatsApp groups or something.
That's right. But you're asking questions to everyone. And you feel free to say this, okay? Do you want to let go of all your problems? Type a yes on the group. And tell people type yes right now, whoever wants to let go of their issues. Whoever wants to learn this. If money is not a barrier, would you come on?
Yeah.
Type a yes. Right? So you're talking to everyone. Neelu's representing everyone.
Got it.
Okay. Is there anything else, Neelu? Or are there any more questions?
Are there any doubts? Have we overwhelmed you? I do want to say that as of last month, the Mystic Lotus and Dragonflies put out this other program, and it's a program that is exactly like how an agency works for you. So we have somebody who looks at your sales, we have somebody who looks at your marketing for whatever it is that your service is right now. And that particular program, so I signed up for it. I was on a tele summit called Jazz Up Your Life with Judy. And Jazz Up Your Life with Judy has a phenomenal audience, but they don't buy. So it's a very hungry audience for learning and knowledge, but not a very hungry audience for investing in that knowledge. Because there's so much you get on a tele summit. You attend a call, my God, your life is already richer. So and they have a very good number on their database, but the sales for them had been falling for the last 5 years. Like it's just getting lesser and lesser. I began work with Ruchira, Nilu, Amrish, and of course we have our team, Shilpa and Nidba, helping out as well. They designed my communication. We had, of course, multiple meetings back and forth. They designed my communication. They put it out in a certain way. After 5 years, that tele summit is now looking up in sales. In fact, it was so, the host of the tele summit, Judy Anderson, she couldn't believe it. She was like, I don't know what this is, but I am signing up for the package. Very rarely does a host sign up for that package. And we have her now on the group with us, doing the work with everybody else. Like she's not seen this kind of sales. We had about 100 people. She's not had this number in years. So one, I want all of you all to keep in mind that there is a premium VIP service that right now for this year is available at 30,000 only for whatever is the work you're doing in the month, not necessarily Mystic Lotus oriented. For the Tele Summit specifically, you can see how much Amrish knows and how much he's contributed to everybody who speaks to him about a package. Like even the package that I was doing on Judy, by the way, I changed one day before, came from a conversation with Amrish and Ruchira about the package. I changed the package completely. I changed the pricing completely. You know, there are also some very important questions that don't cross our mind. For example, I have another package coming up, very nominally priced, and I was looking at numbers for that package. And Amrish asked me, and Amrish did the maths for me. Okay, so 100 people, 10 minutes per people, how will you finish it in a 2-hour call? That hadn't crossed my mind. So now I am no longer looking at numbers, I'm looking at the fact that it's a limited number program. When you have somebody who's objective about the work that you're doing, they will ask you certain questions from the point of view of your buyer. And I think that that is priceless. For the Tele Summit people and for the Tele Summit time only, you can have a 30-minute conversation with Amrish on your product, your package, your sales for just 5,000 rupees. Especially if you are uncomfortable with your sales, you're unsure about your numbers, please take this up immediately. Spend time with Amrish, answer the questions he asks you, redo your package if required. It's okay. Use the expertise available at Mystic Lotus right now. If you were not on the Tele Summit, you would have to pay 15,000. If you do the program with the entire team, that includes Ruchira, Neelu, and the support systems of Shilpa and Misbah, instead of 55,000 rupees, you would only be paying 30,000 rupees. There is a lock-in period of 6 months because the maximum amount of work will get done in the first 3 to 4 months. But my darlings, think about it, come back to us. And it would be very remiss of me to not put down an on-spot offer for 24 hours. And for 24 hours, working with the team is only 25,000 per month. And if you take this up with Amrish, 4,400 rupees only. But 24 hours, it's now 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow, this offer goes off.
So how much is the offer? Can you repeat? 4,000.
400.
And what do we get if we pay 4,400?
30 minutes with Amrish on your Tele Summit package.
No. I'm looking at the annual. The one other thing you said, no.
25,000. Yeah, 25,000 per month. Lock-in period for 6 months.
Okay.
You pay a month
We've given it
every
to you
month.
at 50,000 a month.
What? I got confused. Sorry.
We gave it to you at a special price of 50,000 a month. You sold it for 25,000. We'll keep it at 25,000 for this set of people.
For
Only
this set of people
for
only.
this set of people only, because we're not doing it at 25 or 30,000. We're actually doing it at 50,000. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who's coming on from June, and I've given her 50,000, and she said, okay, I have to send her a proposal today. But so I'm telling you guys, like, very clearly that this is only because we've already shared the price with you of 30,000 and 25,000. We'll do it at that. But for everybody else who's going to come on, please don't tell them we're doing it for 25. Because we're not doing it for 25 or 30 otherwise. Which is why I was interrupting. That's not the rate. Anyway, so that's the rate for people we've got here.
Yeah, only for those.
So I do want to add a little bit more before we move on. Here's the process. What we do is we have a chat with you first. Okay, the chat is we want to see what your strengths are, what are your areas of opportunities, where can you get more people from, what are you doing right now, where are you getting customers from, how much are you doing, and things like those. So we will ask you certain questions. We will understand what more can be done. So for example, you tell us that, you know what, I can do a lot more here, but I've not had the bandwidth, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have the know-how of how to increase this. Okay? Or you're doing something that is doing well and you're operating at, let's say, X, but you want to make it 5X or 10X or 20X. So that's where we come in and we help you accelerate your programs and to give you more opportunities. There are things that we will come and do that you've not been looking at all or doing at all. So we will come in and say, hey, listen, this is working great for you, that is working well for you, but there's this unexplored opportunity that we believe you should look at. And then we work together. There will be conversations, there will be calls that we'll do together, we'll collaborate, we'll make the creatives and things like those. We'll share them with you. Once you're okay with it, we will share the plan as well with you. So there will be the entire media plan, what goes out when, how much time do you need to invest, what do you need to do, what are your responsibilities. For example, if you're making creatives and sharing them with you, we need you to respond to them, right? So it's a collaborative process where we come in and help you take your work to the next level.
Amrish, I'm anytime with you. Whatever you do, I'm there with you.
Thank you, Bhumika.
I'm in.
Thank you.
Awesome. In fact, I also want to say that the offer is only for those who've showed up on the call.
Yeah.
So for those of y'all listening to the replay, sorry, the offer does not stand for you. It's 50,000, and Amrish, the amount was 55. So in any case, you've given them 5,000 off.
Yeah.
And if you do wish to come on, please feel free to have a 10-minute conversation with Amrish to see if y'all have work that we can support and turbocharge and take ahead. And of course, and we'll also see if we can take on your work and make it triple and double. Like, for example, I have already made the money to pay us for the next 5 months. I already got it in that one program. I mean, it was phenomenal. I couldn't believe
I'm in.
how good I felt. I couldn't believe how many insights I got because of the questions that were asked to me, how much I was forced to think through my entire flow of the script. Of course, I changed my package. And I have to tell you, because I'm going to be recommending quite a few of y'all to Judy, I do want to prepare you for some amount of lack of organization on their part. So they actually got a little annoyed with me. Like, I like changing at the last minute. Like, this is just not, it's not encouraged. But I changed it because I saw so much value to what was being told to me. In fact, my program, they recommended that my program, which was priced at a certain amount, actually come down. But I saw what they were doing. I saw how, so I want to tell you a little bit about that program. Amrish gave me this brilliant thought about having exactly what he mentioned to you all, the trailer. So my trailer, instead of my program being 15,000, my trailer was at just 2,000 for a week. In that, I got those 100 people. So I had a package that was a trailer package, and then I had the entire 4-week package. So the trailer package was 1 week, and the entire package was 4 weeks. So then that gave me an opportunity at the end of the week to upsell to 100 people. And out of that, I have 89 people.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
And that's how you want to be able to take a look at the package that you're making. You know, so many of us on our own, I have no doubt, because I've done it on my own till last month. On our own, we will come up with brilliant stuff. We will come up with good stuff, but there is nothing like having the team of people whose only agenda is to make sure that you get more of what you are asking for. And Amrish's experience over 25 years, Ruchira's experience in marketing over 20 years, the phenomenal kind of support that our creative department and our content department does, incredible. None of these prices include any kind of work on social media, but we will make suggestions around social media as well. I believe that Amrish is one of the best people in the country to know how Facebook works. The amount of work we've done on Facebook in the last 2 years, he knows exactly how much to spend, where to spend, what to do. Like, we can give you deals on Facebook that are just 1,800 rupees. And that will give you a bigger buck, or a bigger bang for your buck, than taking up Facebook offers of 500 rupees. It's absolutely incredible how Facebook works, because Facebook is a number game, not necessarily quality, but quantity. So again, depending on what it is you want, what is your objective out of the package you're putting together, the team will help you refine, retune, fine tune it to make sure that you get to do better, have better, receive better. Yes to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Everybody saying yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes to that.
Awesome. Great. So thank you very much for joining us, my darlings. I hope that you all will use everything that was recommended and suggested. Please feel free to make changes to your document immediately. Bon appetit, everybody. Have a great meal and see you on the other side.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nidhu. Thank you, Amrish.
Thank you, Nidhu. Thank you, Amrish.
Thank you, Nidhu. Thank you, Amrish. Thank you, Neelu.
Bye.
Thank you.
Amrish, Neelu, Nidhu.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day ahead. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.